"These medals don't get you extra legroom, sir." The gate agent laughed, loud enough for others in line to hear, pointing mockingly at the 3 medals pinned neatly to the man's chest. Her tone wasn't just disrespectful, it was dripping with arrogance. The older man didn't flinch. He stood there calmly, ticket in hand, his uniform pressed, his nameplate reading, Colonel Harris, USAF, retired. He had been through far worse than public humiliation, but that didn't make it hurt any less. Passengers nearby chuckled awkwardly. A mother pulled her child closer. A young man whispered, "Is that guy serious, wearing all that to the airport?" The woman behind the counter leaned forward with a smirk and added, "We don't do hero discounts here. You'll have to wait with the others." The colonel gave a tired nod and stepped aside without a word. He wasn't there to argue. He was just trying to fly home to bury his best friend, another Medal of Honor recipient lost to cancer. He had served his country for 34 years. But now, in the airport he once flew out of in uniform, he was treated like a joke. What the gate agent didn't know, what none of them knew, was that Colonel Harris wasn't just wearing those medals for show. One of them had been pinned to his chest on the battlefield after he dragged 2 wounded soldiers out of a burning Humvee, both legs shattered by shrapnel. The other medals came from decades of leadership, valor, and sacrifice. He walked with a slight limp, not because he was old, but because a piece of metal still rested near his hip, too dangerous to remove. His silence wasn't weakness. It was dignity. Then something strange happened. 10 minutes later, just as boarding began, the terminal windows filled with flashing lights. 4 black SUVs rolled straight onto the tarmac, an unheard-of breach of airport protocol. TSA scrambled, security radios crackled. The gate agent froze, her smile vanishing. Uniformed military police stepped out of the vehicles, followed by 2 officers in full-dress blues. They moved with precision and purpose, straight toward Gate 7. Passengers watched in silence as the officers approached Colonel Harris and saluted in perfect unison. "Colonel Harris, sir, we apologize for the delay. The Secretary of Defense requested your immediate arrival in D.C. A private jet is waiting on the tarmac." The gate agent's face was drained of color. She stammered, Wait, he's supposed to fly commercials." The lead officer turned, cold and professional. "Ma'am, you just denied boarding to a Medal of Honor recipient. He's not flying commercial. He's flying presidential air support." A hush swept the terminal. Someone gasped. The young man who mocked him earlier stepped back, eyes wide. The mother with her child whispered, "He's a real war hero." And suddenly, the colonel's quiet presence became something monumental. Without speaking a word, Colonel Harris simply nodded, collected his bag, and walked toward the terminal doors. But before he stepped through, he turned to the gate agent, his voice calm but firm. "Don't ever laugh at what you don't understand. These medals aren't for show. They were paid with lives." The SUVs escorted him directly to the jet, waiting on the runway. Inside, a staff sergeant offered him coffee, and a general handed him a folded note. "You are expected at Arlington by sundown. We're honoring both of you." Colum Harris swallowed hard. It wasn't about the flight. It wasn't about the medals. It was about respect, for service, for sacrifice, for the men who never came home. Back in the terminal, the gate agent was replaced within the hour. The airline issued a public apology. But the damage was done. The video of the military escort went viral, over 12 million views in 24 hours. Comments poured in. "This made me cry. My grandfather wore those same medals. We need to do better." Veterans shared the clip, proud to see one of their own finally recognized in front of the world. Colum Harris didn't care about the cameras. He didn't even know someone had filmed it. What he cared about was arriving in time to carry his friend's casket with the honor it deserved. And thanks to that last-minute flight, he did. As taps echoed over Arlington and the flag was folded into a triangle, Harris stood tall, medals gleaming in the sun. Afterward, he quietly slipped away, back into the shadows where most heroes live. No interviews, no speeches, just a silent return home. But the story, it stayed, it spread, it reminded a nation that valor never expires and that every medal has a name, a memory, a sacrifice behind it. So don't judge a person by how quietly they carry their greatness. Sometimes the most decorated heroes walk among us unnoticed, until the moment we're reminded that freedom was never free. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.